Welcome back to Cinemation. Today, I will explain Bad Teacher, a movie I made in 2011. Beware of spoilers. We first see Elizabeth, a woman named Elizabeth. She is a huge gold digger and also works as an educator. She doesn't like it at all. She wants to marry a wealthy man and live in luxury for the rest of her life. Elizabeth was about to marry a very wealthy man when she was seduced by him. She quit teaching because of this. All the teachers at the school said goodbye. She then went to her husband's home to meet him. Her boyfriend was there with his mother. Her boyfriend had already packed all her stuff. Her boyfriend's mom actually proved to her that Elizabeth doesn't love him. She was only marrying him to make his money. Elizabeth said, "No, I love you a lot." When Elizabeth was asked by his mother about her birthday, Elizabeth couldn't remember. The boyfriend became angry at her and ended the relationship. Her plan to marry a wealthy man was now ruined. After 3 months, she had no money. She was forced to resign as a teacher at that school. Amy, her teacher at the school, was also there. Amy tried to talk with her. Amy was not able to talk to Elizabeth because Elizabeth behaved very rudely. She also displayed attitude. Amy did not like it. Elizabeth then met another teacher who became her best friend. She told Elizabeth that she would soon be seducing another rich man and she would quit her job as a teacher. That was the night. Elizabeth went to a bar in an attempt to seduce a wealthy man. Elizabeth began to flirt with a man and tried to seduce him. She was shocked to learn that the man wasn't wealthy, and she decided to get rid of him. She couldn't find a rich man that night. She slept very little that night. She felt very sleepy when she got to school. She turned on the TV and instructed the students to view it. Then she fell asleep in class. During lunch, Elizabeth went to the canteen and Russell, the gym teacher at the school, came to her. Russell loved her so much. Russell is a teacher at the gym and does not have a lot of money, so she doesn't give Russell value. Elizabeth walked out of the canteen to see a handsome teacher. Scott was the name of this teacher. Scott was wearing a very expensive watch. Elizabeth saw it and realized that Scott was a wealthy man. She spoke to him. Scott also showed Elizabeth the photo of his ex-girlfriend. His ex-girlfriend was beautiful. She then went to the doctor to have her breasts implanted. However, the doctor said that she would need $9,000 to do the procedure. Elizabeth was shocked to learn this. As she didn't have enough cash, she didn't give in. However, she reached out to all her friends and attempted to borrow money. All of her friends knew her well enough to refuse to lend her money. After this, Elizabeth was so disappointed. A 7th grade student informed Elizabeth the next day that they were about to car wash this weekend. They earned $6,000. They also earned $6,000. After hearing this, Elizabeth was stunned and found a way to manage the money for her breast implants. Elizabeth offered to be the leader of the team and seduced him with sweet words and was made the leader of the team. The day came for the car wash. Elizabeth arrived at the school wearing a very short dress, so people would be attracted to her. Elizabeth made so much money at this car wash that she took some money and kept it. Amy caught her doing this. She complained to the principal about it. Amy didn't have any proof, so the principal didn't take Amy seriously. Amy was furious at Elizabeth for this. When Elizabeth was speaking to Scott, Amy came over and spoke about Elizabeth's breast implants. Scott was proud of her accomplishment. Amy's plan was thwarted. Everything started to improve in Elizabeth's world. Her parents gave her money to help take care of her children. All this money was saved by Elizabeth for breast implants. Scott then told Elizabeth that he liked Amy at a school party. After hearing this, Elizabeth was devastated and felt terrible. Then Elizabeth met her gym teacher. They began to talk for a while, and they formed a strong bond. After the winter party, Garrett was invited over by her parents. Garrett shared with everyone that he loves the most beautiful girl at school. He had written a poem about Rosie and was about to propose to her. Elizabeth informed him that Rosie was not going to be impressed by you. In reality, Elizabeth was once the most popular girl at school and she knew that Garrett would be a great choice for her. After a few days, Scott finally met Elizabeth and invited her to a party at a bar. Russell and Elizabeth also attended the bar party that night. Scott began singing and proposed to Amy while he sang. After seeing this, Amy was so moved. Elizabeth was angry and left the party. Elizabeth's friend informed her that there would be a test at school. The test will reward the first student teacher with $5,700. Elizabeth found another way to manage her money for breast implants. She went back to class the next day and began teaching her students so that her class would be on the top list. Elizabeth will receive $5,700. That's how Russell and Elizabeth became close friends. Amy and Scott began dating. Elizabeth didn't have the time to teach her students for a whole whole year and then realized that no one of her students would pass the test. She didn't go in. She devised a plan to get her students to the top of the test. The test was finally taken after 1 month. Her students were at the top of this exam. Elizabeth was awarded $5,700. Elizabeth was thrilled to be able to do breast implants. Amy was disappointed that she couldn't win the $5,700. After a few days, school organized a trip, but Elizabeth placed something in Amy's apple to prevent her from going with Scott. Amy was so pimpled after she ate the apple that she decided to not go on that trip. Amy became very angry when she saw Scott and Elizabeth on a trip. Amy returned to school, followed Scott on a trip with Elizabeth, and placed her desk in Elizabeth's class. Then she called a worker to ask him to open the lock on Elizabeth's desk. He said that it was hers. The answer sheet for the test was found when she looked through the drawers. She understood why Elizabeth's students were first on the test. Amy took the answer sheet with her to the principal's office and explained everything. The other side, Elizabeth made Scott believe she was having sex, and she sent a photo to Amy. She sent Amy a photo so she could end her relationship with Scott. Amy was shocked when she found out. One of Elizabeth's students, Garrett, proposed to his crush the next morning. His crush then rejected him in front of everyone and insulted his character. After seeing Garrett, Elizabeth realized that Russell was doing the exact same thing. Russell loves her so deeply, but she ignores Russell all the time. Elizabeth took the initiative to provide health care for Garrett and brought her to him. Elizabeth shared with everyone that she had sex with Garrett while Elizabeth was pregnant. After Elizabeth showed Garrett the bra she gave him, everyone believed Elizabeth wasn't lying. Amy took Amy to that trip, telling her that she would soon be exposed for how you stole the answer sheet. Elizabeth then blackmailed the professor by taking naked photos. The truth is that Elizabeth took the photos even though the professor was not awake. After the professor refused his statement against Elizabeth, Elizabeth discovered that Amy had changed her desk. Elizabeth was aware that Amy kept drugs on her desk. The desk was now in Amy's classroom. Elizabeth complained to Amy about Amy's drug use in school and went to the principal. The police found drugs in Amy's desk when they searched it. The police then arrested her. Amy tried to convince everyone that it wasn't her desk and that it was Elizabeth's desk, but nobody believed her. Amy was then kicked out of school. All was well. Russell proposed to Elizabeth, and they began dating. That was the end of the movie. Don't forget to let me know what you think about today's video by commenting below. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.